Hi, I'm Wade Marynowsky and I make robots.
So Wade, what first attracted you to robots?
I was working a lot with computers. I was doing live audio-visual performance. I wanted to get back into the studio. I wanted to make sculptural forms, and I wanted to put some of the artificial intelligence algorithms I was working with into sculptural forms and have people experience robots firsthand, because often you just see them in movies and you never get to experience them in every day.
The hosts, which are the robots that feature in your performance work, a masquerade of improvising automatons, have a particular look to them. Can you tell us a bit about their aesthetic?
When I was researching the history of robots, I fell in love with 18th century automatons, and they were designed for the royalty, so princely toys they were often called, and so they wore the clothes of the time, and this inspired the design of the hosts, which wear crinolines and have masquerade style dresses.
You tried to put a lot of intricate detail into the outfits as well. Why was that?
So I was looking at this theory called the uncanny valley, which states that you shouldn't design robots too lifelike. So my robots are abstracted human forms, and because it's in the dark, people are often creeped out by robots, but I wanted this attraction and repulsion, so I wanted people to walk up and close to the robots in order to see the detail.
And why did you want them to get close?
To have more of an intimate, visceral experience with the robots.
They're called the improvising automatons, but do they really improvise?
They operate by using sensors at their base, which allow them not to bump into anything and to navigate autonomously around a particular space. And when humans step into that path, they alter their pathway. So they improvise by choosing which direction to go. So this could be influenced by humans or walls, and often people who experienced the work thought that the robots were responding to them, when in fact they were operating autonomously.
Do they make any sounds?
Yeah, so it's loosely based on E.T.A. Hoffman's The Sandman, so some of the vocals reference that text, and other vocals are abstract. So there's a clown, for example, and he laughs.
Creepy. So how does your Akonchi, that's pronounced right, robot exhibit, how is that different to the hosts?
So as I said, people expect robots to respond to them in human-like ways. So, and my previous work, they just acted autonomously. But this particular robot, the Akonchi robot, I took it a step further by giving it eyes. Using the Kinect camera, I'm able to see or detect humans. And so this particular robot, the Akonchi robot, follows people when they're not looking. So it's based on a performance work from the 60s by conceptual artist Vito Akonchi.
Okay, and can you tell us a bit about Akonchi and how his work relates to it?
Yeah, so that particular piece called Follow Piece, he followed people around the street until he couldn't follow them anymore, and then he wrote down his experience of that. Or in another follow piece, he would follow people around a gallery and just stand behind them.
Why not?
Yeah.
What do you think your art reveals about how people feel about robots in everyday life?
So robots are a mirror. They're a reflection of us, and they're like a surface or an object that we can project our fears, our desires, and visions of the future onto. So they're very playful, they're creepy, or there's so many different ways to interpret robots. So that's what I find interesting.
You said people thought that they were responding to them. Do you think people feel like they should be responding to them?
Yeah, it's something inbuilt through science fiction, film and fiction, that robots are our companions, but the actual word robot comes from Capek's play Rossum's Universal Robots, and in that play the word actually means worker, serf, so slave. So we expect machines to work for us.
Yep. So how do you think these kind of technologies will impact the future of art?
So art's interesting. By putting robots in a gallery, people are forced to interact, and it allows a lot more people, everyday people, public, any person who wants to go to a gallery to experience robots firsthand. Whereas if you're an engineer, you might have a robot in a lab, and people won't be able to see it as easily. So having them in a gallery allows for easy access and quick response. So artists and designers are able to get feedback a lot more readily, and therefore affect the future design of robots. So for example, the Akonchi robot, it proposes that an everyday object could come alive, so like a cupboard or a crate following you down the street. So it's just an exploration of how we might make robots in the future, for better or for worse.
So what's next for you?
I'm currently working on a project called Robot Opera, and that will be at Carriage Works in October.
We look forward to it.